Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Karen Chad, and I'm the Vice President of Research at the University of Saskatchewan. And it is indeed my great pleasure to welcome you all here today and thank you for your kind patience, although wasn't it wonderful listening to such beautiful music. Our beautiful Convocation Hall has been the venue for many momentous events over our almost 110-year history. Today will be another such historic moment and milestone in the life of our university. As we gather here today, we acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nation and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with one another. We have celebrated as a university community a number of major research funding announcements and achievements in recent weeks. We can all be very proud that momentum for world-leading discoveries continue to build at the University of Saskatchewan. And I'm excited to tell you that today's announcement is by far the biggest of them yet. As you may have gleaned from the video presentation and the music today, the focus of today's announcement is something very near and dear to us all: water. Before we get started, I would like to thank the University of Saskatchewan Brass Quintet for setting the tone for today's announcement with their performance of excerpts from Handel's Water Music. Please join me in recognizing the performers: music professor Dean McNeil on trumpet, and students Raphael Rigolo on trumpet and Arlene Shiplet on horn, as well Don Schmidt on trombone and Don McLean-Bellick on bass trombone, as well as the University of Saskatchewan Media Productions for putting together the stunning video that highlights the beauty of water research. I'll be introducing our speakers shortly, but I'd like to offer a special welcome to a few people. Jennifer Baltzer, Canada Research Chair in Forests and Global Change, and Phil Marsh, Canada Research Chair in Cold Regions Water Science. They are here today from Southern Ontario's Wilfrid Laurier University, and Wilfrid Laurier and our two esteemed colleagues are key partners on this inspiring initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, water has definitely been top of mind lately in Canada. This summer, an oil spill on the North Saskatchewan threatened drinking water supplies to one of the province's largest city, namely Prince Albert. Water has been a concern in relation to the welfare of our Indigenous communities, some of whom have lived under years-old boil water advisories. From our farmers, flooding has been a concern in recent years in many parts of Saskatchewan, and in some areas, such as the Quill Lakes east of here, they are experiencing record-high levels this year that have left square kilometers of once productive land underwater. That's just this country's view, but water indeed is a global concern. Quality and quantity of water are essential to life. From the rains that nourish our crops and rangeland to the glass we raise to our lips to quench our thirst. At the University of Saskatchewan, we are indeed helping to solve challenges related to water security, one of our signature areas of research, through the outstanding work of more than 160 water researchers and the strong support of our many partners and supporters. I'd now like to acknowledge and welcome our speakers and special guests joining us today. First, I would like to welcome back to campus for a third time this last month the Honourable Ralph Goodale, Canada's Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness. We are proud that Minister Goodale is a University of Saskatchewan alumnus, a graduate of our law school. He has been here so often lately that I have been joking with him that we might have to indeed find the minister a permanent office here. Well, you might be querying about where is Minister Goodale, and I wanted to let you folks know that this funding announcement is all about the environment. But there's one particular portion of the environment that is not covered in this particular grant, and that is the environment that concerns fog, particularly in Saskatchewan. So as we gather here today, Minister Goodale is gathering in spirit with us in Regina, and he has been fogged out and is unable to join us here personally today. However, I know you will celebrate like me in terms of acknowledging his great support and leadership and being here with us in our hearts and our minds. Also joining us today at the podium will be Bettina Hamlin. Bettina is Vice President of the Research Partnerships Directorate at NSERC, the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada. Bettina, I'm so glad that you could join us here for this momentum announcement today. And Bettina will be providing the remarks and the announcements on behalf of Minister Goodale. President Peter Stoichev and John Pomeroy, our Canada Research Chair in Water Resources and Climate Change, will shortly be sharing their thoughts on this special day. And rounding out the program will be one of our outstanding young graduate students who is part of our University of Saskatchewan Global Institute for Water Security. I would now like to invite Bettina Hamlin to come to the podium and make the announcement on behalf of the Honourable Minister and the Federal Government of Canada. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Chad. It's truly an honor and very humbling to represent Minister Goodale here this morning, and I will be reading his notes. Minister Goodale says, "It is such a pleasure to be back at the University of Saskatchewan today. You will, of course, remember that I was here earlier this month to announce a $30 million investment in this world-class institution. This funding included more than $30 million for the university's new collaborative science research building. This project will create a new flexible lab building. It will support the university's well-recognized excellence in life sciences and natural sciences. We also provided support for renovations at St. Thomas More College and Green Technology Project at St. Peter's College. And now, Minister Goodale would have liked to be here with further evidence from the government's commitment to science and evidence-based decision-making. As you may know, we have just launched an innovation agenda, a central goal of which is to firmly place Canada as a global leader in science and research. We want to make the most of Canada's scientific and research strength, the areas where we really have the potential to dominate on the world stage. At the same time, we know that Canada's post-secondary institutions face major competition from other countries for the best minds, partnership opportunities, and breakthrough discoveries. Canada's ability to attract top research talent, innovators, and enterprises means our institutions must be able to seize opportunities and advance their greatest strengths at the global stage. That's why we have in place a program to boost these key areas of research where Canada is poised to lead. The Canada First Research Excellence Fund is a $1.5 billion investment in the Canadian scientific and research excellence of tomorrow. Today, Science Minister Kirsty Duncan is in Waterloo to announce all 13 recipients of the second round of funding under this flagship initiative, amounting to some $900 million in total. Minister Goodale would have been pleased to be here today on her behalf to announce that the University of Saskatchewan will receive $77.8 million under this program. Today, the world faces significant water-related challenges due to both climate change and human actions. Floods, droughts, reduced water availability, and degraded water quality affect communities in countries around the globe. Here at home, we have faced our share of these challenges. What's more, as an Arctic nation, our northern communities are on the front line of this change, watching snow, ice, and frozen soils affect water availability. The University of Saskatchewan will use this funding to bring together leading Canadian water research expertise and international partners. The initiative, entitled Global Water Futures, will position Canada as an international hub for leading-edge water science for the world's cold regions. It will become an international provider of urgently needed risk management technologies, decision-making tools, and other evidence-based solutions to complex water challenges. These challenges include source water quality issues that primarily affect northern and Indigenous communities. However, I want to emphasize that the implications for the work that will take place here are truly global of scale. They touch nearly every aspect of our lives. Clean water is essential to human health, no matter in which part of the planet you live. Not only that, it lies at the heart of our global ecosystem. It supports the exceptional rate of urbanization in the world is currently experiencing. It is a natural partner for energy generation and delivery. It is vital for agriculture, and it is absolutely critical when it comes to manufacturing. Let's think about the last one, because every manufactured product requires water. It takes 10 liters of water to make 1 sheet of paper. That cell phone in your pocket, well, just to make it 500 grams, to make its 500 grams plastic shell, 91 liters of water are necessary. What's more, UN Water predicts that global water demand for manufacturing will increase by 400% from 2000 to 2050. So on top of everything else, there is a pretty strong business case for water efficiency, all of which should help explain why this investment is such a big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, today's announcement will help the University of Saskatchewan propel Canada to world leadership in water science. It will ensure that the school continues to attract top research talent to our country. And it will help translate new knowledge into market-ready technologies for the benefit of Canadians. This is exactly the kind of leadership in science and innovation that we want to make Canada known for worldwide. We see this as critical to Canada's long-term sustainable success in today's globally competitive world. And that's what the Canada First Research Excellence Fund is all about. So congratulations again to the team here at the University of Saskatchewan and to all the successful recipients across the country. I can't wait to see where we go from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bettina. NSERC certainly is a crucial partner in advancing research knowledge for Canada and indeed the world. We are proud at the University of Saskatchewan to share this mission, and thank you again for sharing the words of support. I would now like to call Bettina back to the podium in her current position, NSERC Vice President of NSERC. Thank you.
Thank you again, Karen. Hello again. It's great to be here, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here at the home of the University of Saskatchewan's Global Water Futures Network. As the Vice President of Research Partnerships of the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council, I'm very pleased to be representing the three granting councils, SSHRC, NSERC, and CIHR at today's transformative announcement. And personally, I have to say that I became a fan of the University of Saskatchewan years ago when I first came here and met with Karen at the time to discuss partnerships around drug discovery, and we plotted all kinds of ideas and plans, and the vision, the energy, and the enthusiasm that was palpable back then is palpable today to an even greater extent, and it can only lead the University of Saskatchewan to a brighter future. Working at NSERC now, I have the privilege of meeting many university and college presidents, vice presidents of research, and faculty deans. And I'm listening closely to their plans, their priorities, and their aspirations for science in Canada. From these conversations, I can say that the opportunity to compete for this type of transformative funding that we're talking about here today has created enormous excitement around Canada's campuses, as well as, I imagine, a lot of sleepless nights and a great deal of stress. But being in the position to compete for such scaled funding and to be able to make a tailored business case for the level of funding that's needed to go from world-class to world-leading has enabled many of our country's universities and colleges to carefully analyze their competitive strengths. Being competitive and ultimately transformative in your research efforts entails looking at how faculties and departments can work together across disciplines to become greater than the sum of your individual parts. It means looking at where you are now and charting a path to global leadership in key areas of strength. For you here at the University of Saskatchewan's Global Institute for Water Security, this has meant putting forward an application that articulates an exciting plan for new cutting-edge science, built on novel environmental monitoring systems and predictive modeling tools. We are confident that the Global Water Futures Network will become an international inspiration and provider of risk management technologies, decision-making tools, and a multitude of evidence-based solutions to complex global water challenges that are so urgently needed. Given the track record of the University of Saskatchewan in this Canada First competition, it is not surprising that the excellence on display here again today should be rewarded with success in the second round of this competition, just as it is not surprising for any of the 12 other institutions to have won the funding. Because Canada's campuses are home to what we believe are uniquely collaborative and innovative researchers. Researchers and leaders that we at the three granting agencies are proud to invest in with our individual grants and awards. With today's announcement, all 13 winning institutions have now been given the funds they need to become world leaders in the areas they have identified as being their strongest assets. It's been a long journey from the opening of the competition to this announcement. But to close, I would like to thank all 51 institutions that put forward proposals for this competitions, as well as the expert reviewers who made their recommendations on the proposals, the review panels that examined these proposals and then provided comments on their budgets, the selection board chaired by Ken Knox, which made recommendations to the steering committee about those proposals with the greatest potential to propel an institution and its research to the best in the world category. Good luck to you here at the University of Saskatchewan at the Global Water Futures Network. Thank you all for your contributions to making Canadian research among the best in the world and for making Canada the destination of choice for so many of the world's best researchers. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Bettina, not only for your inspiring words, but for your personal leadership and, of course, the leadership and support of the federal government. We appreciate not only the award today in terms of the financial contribution, but we acknowledge very deeply and very humbly the trust and confidence you have bestowed upon the University of Saskatchewan and our many partners to address one of the global and daunting challenges of the day. Thank you again, Bettina. I would now like to welcome to the podium our esteemed president, Dr. Peter Stoichev, to say words on behalf of our esteemed University of Saskatchewan. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Still got a minute when I can say good morning, so good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see so many people here. I know that there are students here, there are alumni here, faculty here, administrators here, many staff members here, at least one former chancellor here, board members here, and it all speaks to the fact that we are a wonderful, really wonderful community. We have a common purpose, and that is to serve the public good, and that's really what today's announcement is about. Thank you, Bettina, for serving as proxy for Minister Goodale, and also for your kind and inspiring words from NSERC and all of the tri-councils. And thank you very much, Karen, for your words and for emceeing this today. It is indeed a historic day. It's a fabulous day. $77.8 million in a grant is not just the largest that this university has received. It's also the largest university-led water research program ever funded in the world. No institution, nationally or internationally, has assembled such a large-scale and multidisciplinary water research initiative of this kind. That's what we're talking about today. And let's be clear, collaboration on this scale is needed now more than ever. You've heard a bit. I'd like to elaborate somewhat on these points. It has been said that in terms of water challenges, Canada is sleepwalking toward an uncertain future. With climate change and greater human impacts on the environment, Canada is witnessing unprecedented flood, drought, and poor water quality incidents. And that's just Canada. The same types of devastating challenges are taking their toll around the globe. Our ambitious goal here is to transform the way communities, governments, and industries in Canada and other cold regions of the world prepare for and manage these increasing water-related threats. And we have the global team assembled to do this. We have brought to bear on these issues the expertise and knowledge of more than 140 stakeholders and partners in Canada and around the globe. These partners include universities, international research institutions, provincial and federal agencies, Indigenous communities, importantly, industrial collaborators, non-governmental organizations, and 3 key global water research programs. By 2023, we anticipate that we will have come up with ways to measure and forecast floods, droughts, water quality, and water-related health problems in Canada. We will have developed models for improving equity between upstream and downstream water users, and we will have come up with new ways to engage communities in making informed decisions to reduce and manage water risks. In short, we will position the U of S and Canada as global leaders in cold region water science. I would like to say to Mr. Goodale, for the record, so that he hears, these exciting opportunities to make a difference in water security here and beyond would not be available were it not for this $77.8 million federal investment. On behalf of the University of Saskatchewan, I want to express my profound appreciation to Minister Goodale and to his government for recognizing through this Canada First Research Excellence Fund, or CFREF, the important role that university research plays in generating discoveries for Canada's future. And thank you as well to NSERC and to the tri-agencies for your strong support of the CFREF program. As one of Canada's top research universities, I can assure you we have the talent, the world-class facilities, and the partnerships to deliver on this ambitious program mandate. It's worth noting that our successful CFREF proposal builds on the work of our Global Institute for Water Security led by Howard Weider, and that institute got its start from a $30 million Canada Excellence Research Chair held by Dr. Weider. This underscores the importance of these big strategic national investments. I'm also delighted that the $77.8 million in federal support that Minister Goodale would have loved to have announced has leveraged other funding from the U of S, our key partner universities, and other industrial and international partners, bringing our total program budget to more than $143 million for this project. And I would like to particularly thank our three key partner universities, the University of Waterloo, McMaster University, and Sir Wilfrid Laurier University represented here. Thank you very much for your presence, for their combined almost $38 million contributing to this exciting research program. We are very proud to partner with these Canadian water research leaders. My heartiest congratulations go out to Howard Weider and his whole team at our Global Institute for Water Security. You can be justly proud of your outstanding success in this tough round of CFREF funding competition. It will bring many new exciting research and training opportunities for our faculty and students, including 20 new faculty appointments across our partner universities in fields ranging from environmental economics to novel sensing technologies, and importantly, to social science. I particularly want to express my deep gratitude to Karen Chad for her leadership, tenacity, and vision that has resulted in this proud day, and that marks our second successful CFREF. We won a CFREF in food security research in the inaugural competition last year, one of only 5 in the country, and with this one being announced today, we become the only university in Canada with 2 CFREF awards. And the common denominator in both of these successes is Karen Chad's outstanding leadership and her very determined and dedicated team. So congratulations to all of you as well. Lastly, with this grant, we have the potential to greatly advance in 3 areas of our institutional focus: connectivity, sustainability, and diversity, and it touches on each of these 3. This grant enables us to connect exponentially with our stakeholders and partners in a new international water research network. It enables us to train the next generation of students in sustainable water futures. The numbers that I have include 152 doctoral students across the many institutions involved in this project, 157 master's students, 134 undergraduate students. It also supports, as I mentioned, 20 new faculty positions across all the institutions, including 8 faculty positions here, and 164 postdoctoral positions as well. It will advance our community-engaged research, particularly building on relationships with Aboriginal communities in Canada's north and along the major rivers and lakes to help solve growing water challenges. So in closing, let me say how excited I am about the potential for groundbreaking research that this highly collaborative CFREF provides. Thank you once again, Minister Goodale in absentia, To borrow a phrase from our current Prime Minister's father, Pierre Trudeau, just watch us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter, for those very kind and inspiring remarks. Our next speaker lives and breathes the subject of water. From the snows and the glaciers on the slopes of the Rocky Mountains to the Great Plains where we stand now, Professor John Pomeroy will now provide more detail about this exciting water research initiative and the inspiring impact it will have for all of us.
Thank you so much, Karen. Well, welcome, friends, to such a very happy moment in the history of this university. I want to thank to all of you who have helped make this happen over the years, and special thanks to our colleague, Howard Wheater, for leading the effort and pouring so much work into it. We're fortunate to have him at University of Saskatchewan. What will this do for water researchers at U of S and our partner universities elsewhere in Canada? Not just Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier, and McMaster, but the 17 institutions beyond U of S that are involved, and the many government departments, the 45 international research institutes, and on. We have a long and honorable tradition of water research at U of S and at our partner institutions. Saskatoon is the birthplace of Canadian hydrology in the early 1960s, and with the subsequent development of toxicology, the movement of Environment Canada's National Hydrology Research Centre, and the novel development of the Global Institute for Water Security, we now have one of the world's greatest concentrations of water scientists, and including the very best in the world. It's something very much to be proud of as a starter. For those of you who are conducting research into water, this is a special time. Global Water Futures is going to feel like being an aeronautical engineer at the start of the space age. This massive investment to address a daunting challenge is the equivalent of the lofty goals of those days, and you're going to get to live it. Supported by new sensors, drones, nanosatellites, eDNA, instrumented watersheds, toxicological analyses, computer models, and unprecedented data, we will better understand and forecast water disasters, water supply, and water quality. Through better prediction, we will reduce the damages from extreme weather events like floods, droughts, and wildfires that are besieging Canada. And we will unravel the social, health, environmental, political, and economic implications of changes to our water. Why does this matter? Canada is known as the water country, with the world's greatest freshwater resources. We have great economic, environmental, and cultural dependence on water. It's in all of us. We have high standards and expect water to be plentiful, safe, and clean. But we are experiencing extraordinary challenges resulting from climate warming and associated extreme weather, along with the rapid growth in our population and industries. Canada and the world have record rates of shrinking glaciers, melting permafrost, reduced snow cover, increased floods and droughts, and degraded water quality at the same time as our demands on water are increasing. In the last 15 years, Saskatchewan has not only seen great crops and population growth, but the worst floods and droughts in its history. This puts our communities, farms, First Nations, and infrastructure at risk. And we have hundreds of cases of inadequate drinking water for our rural residents, especially on many of the First Nations. Humanity has a right to a supply of clean, safe, and adequate water, and we must help to ensure and balance these rights. How will we do this? Based at U of S, but with hundreds of investigators across Canada, we will focus on water solutions relevant to our industrial, community, agricultural, and First Nations partners. These are user-led solutions, and we will develop multidisciplinary teams to address them. We will develop a new capacity for providing disaster warning, using our new sensors, new satellite remote sensing, new computer models, and delivered with our industrial, provincial, and federal partners. We will diagnose and predict future water scenarios across boundaries in drinking water sources, looking at water for agriculture, water for mining, water for energy, water for communities, and water for the environment. We will do this by developing new approaches to manage water-related risks for multiple sectors. We will show how water equity can be implemented between the rich upstream jurisdictions and less powerful downstream jurisdictions. We'll show how communities can be empowered by water knowledge and how watersheds can be optimally managed for water security. Proceeding with the focus on the major watersheds in Canada, from the remote, cold, but melting headwaters to the forests, farmland, wetlands, aquifers, rivers, and lakes that hold our water. We will have a cold regions focus on innovation that will translate to our international partners in regions such as the Andes, the Himalayas, the Tibetan Plateau, the Alps, and the Rockies. Canada's long been known as the water country, and with this program, we will now be known as the water solutions country, and that's exactly where we want to be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John. I would like to offer my personal congratulations to you and the whole amazing team at the Global Institute for Water Security. Securing this grant and lining up all our many partners was indeed a historic accomplishment, not to mention a huge effort from all of you. And I am tremendously, tremendously proud of each and every one of you who have been involved. Like the speakers before me, I would also like to pay a special tribute to Dr. Howard Weider, the Canada Excellence Research Chair and Executive Director of the Global Institute for Water Security, who was the University of Saskatchewan's thought leader for this inspiring proposal. Our final speaker today is Holly Anand. I am really excited to invite Holly to the podium to provide a student's perspective on today's announcement. Holly is a PhD student in geography and planning who has earned both an engineering degree and a Master's of Science degree from the University of Saskatchewan. Holly, the podium is yours.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you, Karen. This afternoon, I would like to share with you why I'm excited about the Global Water Futures program, and I'll explain how I think it will impact my future career. In my research, I study the influence of climate change and farming practices on the hydrology of prairie watersheds. I grew up in a rural Saskatchewan community, so I've seen firsthand the challenges that droughts and flooding can place on agriculture, my family, and our economy. So a little over a year ago, I was out taking pictures of flooded farmland with a customer, and I realized I have some big questions about water. Questions that didn't have simple answers and extended beyond the boundaries of a single field, watershed, or even our province. I realized that my questions would require a new level of expertise. They might take years of research to even understand. But I knew in that moment, I want to be that person. I want to answer these questions, and I want to communicate these answers to the world. The Global Water Futures program provides that opportunity. It enables students like myself to learn from the best and the brightest minds in water research, many of whom are in this room today and have helped shape the University of Saskatchewan. I remember meeting my now supervisors, John Pomeroy and Howard Weider, for the first time, and I thought, wow, these guys have a vision. They're passionate and brilliant, and with their guidance, I could do research with an impact. So today's announcement solidifies for me that we can all do research with impact. New doors are being opened for students to exchange ideas at a global level, play with all the cool instruments John was listing off, but also push the boundaries of science. Students are motivated to work harder and think bigger today. And I know there's a few of us in the crowd who are also daydreaming about all of the jobs this might produce. But I'm standing in front of you today as just one of hundreds of students whose futures are brighter because of this announcement. I'm so proud of our university and our leadership, and I'm honored to be a student at this campus. I'm eager to contribute to global water futures. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Holly, for those inspiring words. And indeed, I think today is one of those days when each and every one of us truly, truly feel proud and privileged to be at this wonderful university. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our formal program. I invite you all to stay and enjoy some of our water-themed refreshments, as well as conversations with our guests and our colleagues. Our wonderful media will have the opportunity to do interviews with the speakers. Once again, thank you and have a great Saskatchewan day.